Good evening, everyone. From the time we were old enough to understand what the word success meant, we were told to go chase it, go after it. Work harder. Push more. Never sleep. Hustle until your eyes bleed. Society romanticized the grind. We glorified sleepless nights, burnout, and constant motion. We were conditioned to believe that if we weren't chasing success, we weren't worthy of having it. But here's the truth no one tells you: success doesn't respond to pursuit. It responds to alignment. Let that sink in. We've all seen people chase and chase, working overtime, sacrificing relationships, losing their health, and burning themselves out, only to come up empty-handed. Meanwhile, there's another kind of person. Someone who seems calm, collected, and grounded. Someone who walks into rooms and people pay attention. Someone who doesn't chase success. They attract it. So what's the difference? The difference is who they've become. Why chasing doesn't work. Chasing implies something is running away from you. When you chase success, you're essentially telling yourself, I don't have it. I'm not enough. I need to prove myself. I need to earn my worth. That energy, it repels. It's like a relationship. When you cling too tightly to someone, constantly begging for attention, constantly trying to earn their love, they eventually pull away. But when you're whole, grounded, and living with purpose, people are drawn to you. So is opportunity. So is success. Neediness repels. Wholeness attracts. That's what we've been doing wrong all along. We've been trying to fix the outside, the job, the network, the followers, the resume, without fixing the inside, the person success loves. There is a kind of person that success naturally flows to, not because they demand it, not because they scream for it, but because they've become the kind of person who is ready for it. So who is this person? 1. They know who they are. Success is attracted to clarity. Most people don't know who they are. They live their lives trying to be what others want them to be. But the person who attracts success has done the deep, painful, internal work. They've asked themselves the hard questions. They've embraced their uniqueness. They've owned their story, flaws and all. Success loves people who are authentic. Why? Because authenticity builds trust. And trust is the foundation of every meaningful opportunity. 2. They don't settle. This person doesn't accept mediocrity. Not in their work. Not in their relationships. Not in themselves. They operate at a standard that feels high to others. But natural to them, success is drawn to high standards, not perfection. When you expect more of yourself, not in a way that drains you, but in a way that honors your worth, doors open. Not because you begged, but because you became too excellent to ignore. 3. They embrace growth. This person understands that growth is uncomfortable. They are not afraid of pain. They don't hide from challenges. They see setbacks as teachers. They don't chase shortcuts. They grow roots. Success finds people who are built to last. People who won't collapse under pressure. People who've built internal strength, not just external achievements, the magnetic energy of alignment. Have you ever met someone who doesn't try too hard, but still commands the room? That's alignment. They've aligned their thoughts, words, habits, energy, and identity. They don't chase. They pull things toward them because their inner world is in harmony. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's magnetism. When you walk in alignment with your truth, you get the needed support. People feel it. Opportunities find you. And you're not burned out from chasing anymore. Because you've become the person success was looking for, the internal shift that changes everything. There comes a moment in your life when you realize, I don't need to do more. I need to become more. That realization changes everything. When you stop focusing on external hustle and start shifting your identity from within, your energy changes. Your confidence becomes effortless. Not because you've ticked off 100 goals, but because you've reconnected with your core. It's not about adding more to your to-do list. It's about subtracting everything that's not you. The version of you that success is attracted to isn't buried under achievements. It's buried under limiting beliefs, fear of judgment, and the false self you build to please others. You don't need to chase success. You need to come back home to yourself, the habits that build the person. Becoming the kind of person who attracts success isn't a mindset trick, it's a way of life. It's not a goal, it's an identity shift. And it starts with your habits. Here are the 7 core habits that shape that person. 1. Radical self-discipline. Not punishment. Not perfectionism. But self-leadership. The person's success loves doesn't rely on motivation. They build systems. They keep their word to themselves. They get up when it's hard. They say no when no one is watching. They delay gratification, not out of fear, but because their future is worth it. Discipline is a form of self-respect. And self-respect is magnetic. 2. Deep, honest reflection. Every week, every day, even every hour if needed, they pause and ask, what am I doing that's working? What am I avoiding? Where am I lying to myself? They're not afraid of the truth. They welcome it. Because the truth, no matter how uncomfortable, is the first step to freedom. You can't become someone new if you're unwilling to confront who you are now. 3. Selective environment. They don't just protect their peace, they curate their environment. They know the people you're around either expand you or shrink you. The content you consume is either feeding your future or poisoning it. The space you live in reflects your internal state. They choose people who challenge them to rise, not people who keep them comfortable. They know success flows more easily in an environment designed for it. 4. Relentless learning. This person never assumes they know enough. They devour books. They listen more than they talk. They are obsessed with becoming wiser, sharper, better, but here's the catch, they don't just learn. They apply. They take messy action. They fail forward. They implement faster than others contemplate. That's why they grow so fast. Not because they're smarter, but because they're braver. 5. Energy management. They guard their energy like a billionaire guards their money. They don't give their time to everyone. They don't fight battles that don't matter. They rest when needed, without guilt. They train their body because they know a strong body supports a powerful mind. They prioritize joy, laughter, silence, stillness. Not as luxuries, but as necessities. Because they know burnout people can't attract what's meant for them. 6. Purpose-driven action. Everything they do is anchored in a deep sense of why. They don't work for status. They work for impact. They are not driven by applause. They are driven by alignment. That means they'll walk away from a high-paying job if it violates their values. They'll turn down praise if it doesn't feel true. They follow purpose, not popularity, and that's exactly why success chases them, because the world trusts people with purpose. 7. Inner peace over outer validation. This one is rare, but it's everything. They are not loud. They don't need to prove anything. They've made peace with their past. They are not chasing likes. They are not addicted to attention. They've found stillness. And stillness is where wisdom lives. When you're not constantly chasing approval, you move differently. You glow differently. You make decisions from power, not panic, the power of detachment. Here's the irony. The moment you stop needing success is when it finds you, because detachment is the highest form of trust. It's not giving up. It's saying, I've done the work. I've built the person. Now I surrender the outcome. That surrender is not weakness. It's faith, faith that the right things will flow at the right time. Faith that you don't need to manipulate or control your way to the top. Faith that who you've become is more important than what you've achieved, and success is always drawn to that kind of faith, who you're becoming versus what you're getting. Too many people obsess over outcomes. The paycheck, the number of followers, the car, the applause, the title, but they miss the most important question: who am I becoming? That's the only question that matters in the long run, because here's what no one tells you about chasing success: you can get success and still feel empty. You can have the house, the car, the lifestyle, and still hate the person in the mirror. Because somewhere along the way, you became a version of yourself you don't even recognize. You climbed the wrong mountain. You became what the world rewarded, but not what your soul needed. So stop asking, what am I getting? Start asking, who am I becoming? That shift will realign everything. How to start attracting instead of chasing. So how do you stop chasing and start attracting? It starts with these 5 internal commitments. 1. Commit to mastering yourself. The battlefield isn't out there. It's inside your thoughts, your beliefs, your triggers, your identity. That's where the real war is won. You can't attract success while carrying the energy of fear, jealousy, bitterness, or self-doubt. These energies act like static. They block the signal. So every day, commit to healing your trauma, taming your ego, replacing self-hate with self-trust, letting go of resentment. This isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming clear. 2. Commit to vision, not validation. Most people live to be seen, not to see. They want to be noticed, admired, liked. But that's a trap. Validation is a drug. It keeps you performing instead of living. People who attract success live by vision. They wake up with purpose. They are building something bigger than their ego. They can endure criticism because they are anchored to something deeper. They don't need a crowd. They just need their compass. And that's what makes them magnetic, because people can feel when you're building from truth, not from insecurity. 3. Commit to full ownership. No blaming. No complaining. No pointing fingers. Everything in your life, it's yours. Own it. All of it, not because you're at fault, but because ownership is power. When you own your life, you regain the power to change it. You stop waiting for someone to rescue you. You stop expecting life to be fair. You start saying, this is my mountain, and I'm going to climb it, no matter what. People who attract success carry that fire. You can see it in their eyes. You can hear it in their voice. They are unshakable because they've taken full responsibility for their lives. 4. Commit to long-term energy. Success is not about going fast. It's about going far, and that means energy management is key. If you burn out, you break down. If you hustle too hard, you become hollow. If you try to sprint a marathon, you collapse. The person success is attracted to is someone who lasts. Someone who builds rhythms, rituals, and boundaries that preserve energy over years, not days. You don't need to do it all at once. You just need to keep doing it long enough for the results to catch up. 5. Commit to the present moment. Ironically, people who attract success don't live in the future. They are fully present. They are not obsessing over results. And because of that, they bring energy, joy, and excellence to whatever is in front of them. When you show up fully to the present, your presence expands, and presence is everything. A story you need to hear. Let me tell you about Victor. Victor was the guy who chased everything: money, validation, followers, achievements. He was always almost there. almost happy, almost fulfilled. But every time he achieved a goal, the emptiness returned. It was like drinking salt water. The more he got, the thirstier he became, until one day, Victor burned out. He hit a wall. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, so he stopped everything. He deleted his apps. He left his high-paying job. He moved back to his small hometown and asked himself a painful question: if I stopped performing, would I still love who I am? The answer shattered him, so he started over. He read. He meditated. He sat in silence. He did therapy. He asked for forgiveness. He let go of the identity he had built for others. It took time, months, even years, but slowly, Victor stopped chasing success and started attracting it. A book opportunity found him. Then a podcast. Then investors. Then a movement. Why? Because now, Victor wasn't trying to get anything from the world. He was overflowing with something he had found within himself: peace, power, purpose. That's what success responds to. Every time, when you become the person, the path appears. You don't need to chase the perfect strategy. You don't need to know all the answers. You don't need to force or beg or hustle till you collapse. You just need to become the person success was always meant to find. And when you do, the right people will show up, the right ideas will emerge, the right timing will unfold, because you'll no longer be chasing success, you'll be attracting it by who you are, by what you stand for, by how you walk through the world. If you're watching this podcast and you feel behind, if you've been chasing and burning out and wondering if it's ever going to happen for you, pause, breathe, look inward. You are not far. You are not broken. You are not a failure. You are just a decision away, not a decision to work harder, but a decision to become the person your future needs. That person is already inside you, waiting, ready, powerful. Start becoming them today, and let success do what it was always meant to do: find you. If this powerful video podcast reignited something in you, kindly drop a nice comment below. Like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this today. I'm Clement, your motivation therapist.